What's up, fam? It's your main man, Big Mace, coming at you with another video. It's a beautiful day out here, not too many clouds in the sky, sun's shining. It's about 70, 75 degrees, and perfect day to hit up a ride. I haven't been able to get on the bike in a couple of weeks. We had a lot of rain, a lot of cold weather, and all that other stuff. And I'm not really a cold weather kind of guy. I don't really do the ride in the cold thing too much. But I wanted to get on here and make a video about big guys and the kind of bikes we ride and all that other stuff. Had somebody hit me up on the page asking questions about that. And it's really not a lot to it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep this real simple and real easy for you. The biggest thing is when you're out there shopping for a bike, sit on it, ride it. Point blank. I mean, you're gonna do that anyway, I'm sure, before you purchase a new bike. You're probably gonna wanna go out there and ride it around a little bit, see how it feels and all that other stuff. But you wanna get something that's comfortable for you. For instance, for me, when I'm sitting in the straddle position, I don't like my legs to be like bent. So I mean, if I'm sitting in the straddle position, it's almost like I'm doing a squat or something. That's not comfortable for me. You know what I'm saying? I want a bike that sits up a little bit so that my knees are able to, stretch a little bit. I can stretch out without having to necessarily stand up and all that other stuff. Because I'm a big dude and riding in the, the tuck position or whatever for a long time, my knees start to ache. So when I pull up at a light or something like that, I like it. I can put my feet down and I can kind of like stretch my leg out without necessarily having to stand up and all that extra stuff. So another part of it is, being in a tuck position on a sport bike, laying down on that thing and all that. If you don't have a big enough bike, you ain't got nowhere to lay down on. You know what I'm saying? So as you're on the highway hitting them high speeds and whatnot, what you find is that, the wind resistance becomes a factor because you're sitting more up than you want to be. And of course, when you're riding in a full tuck at high speeds, you want to be as close to the bike as you can so that you get that aerodynamics going and you don't have a lot of drag. So the biggest thing is picking the bike that feels comfortable to you. All right, so I encourage you to sit on a couple of different bikes. Just because you're a big guy don't necessarily mean you got to get a 1400cc bike and all that other stuff. Engine size, that's not really the factor that you're looking at. You're looking at more so like the size of the frame of the bike. Can the bike hold you? You know what I'm saying? Because there's some 600s and 650s out there that'll hold you just fine. You know what I'm saying? So again, a lot of it depends on what kind of bike you want to ride. I'm a sport bike guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like. So I had to go with the Booster or the ZX14. Those are the only two bikes that really felt comfortable for me that I saw. Now, BMW makes a couple of big bikes. What is it? The double R or something like that. They alright, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't for me. I didn't like the way I felt on it, and then that bike's a little bit more expensive than what I wanted to spend. So the key thing, like I said, is sitting on a bike, riding it around, seeing how you feel, and getting what's comfortable for you. For you really big guys, and I'm talking 300 pounds plus, you can ride a sport bike, but real talk, unless that's what you just want, I would say look at maybe a cruiser, man, because a lot of the cruisers like really comfortable, and for a bigger guy, being able to sit upright, having that seat rest in the back, if you got one of them type of deals, so you can lean back a little bit and kind of relax and throw your feet out on them highway pegs and all that, might be better for you. Just depends on, your body type and what's comfortable for you. You know what I'm saying? So definitely think about that part hard and, sit on a few different ones, ride them around, see what really fits you. I don't recommend doing doing a lot of modifications like dropping them low and all that other stuff if you're a bigger guy. That's just because for me, again, if I drop my bike any lower than it is, my knees would be bent like I'm in a squat position, and that's just not comfortable for me. I want to be able to stretch my legs out without necessarily having to stand up and all that, and I'm comfortable with the way my bike is and the height of my ride now. You can get airbags and all that other stuff. Haven't really seen that on sport bikes. I've only seen that on cruisers, but I'm sure there's somebody out there with a sport bike that's doing something like that. Another thing you want to think about is your gear, all right? Me personally, I'm a t-shirt kind of guy. You'll catch me riding t-shirt. I might throw on like I got some Nike arm warmers or whatever. I'll throw those on or whatever on a chillier day. I try not to ride with a jacket too much. That's just my preference. I have a little bit more maneuverability when I'm not using the jacket or whatever, and of course I'm a little bit more wind resistant as well, so I appreciate that personally. But that, again, that's a personal preference. It's up to you, you know what I'm saying, how you want to ride and what kind of gear you want to get. The jacket I got is an Oxford jacket. It came in a 5XL, fits me perfect, and that was one of the reasons why I purchased that jacket. Actually, was the price for one, and then two, it was one of the few that I saw that I didn't have to special order. I didn't have to special order the jacket or whatever. It came in a size that would fit me, and it fits me perfect. So if you're a bigger guy, definitely Oxford makes some good products as far as jackets and gloves and stuff like that too. Icon makes some good stuff. You're gonna pay a little bit more. You may wind up having a special order something from Icon, but they have some really good jackets, especially if you're into the leather stuff and all that. They have some really nice leather jackets that you can go for that are made for bigger guys. Other than that, man, like I said, there's really not a whole lot to it. Another thing you want to think about is like making modifications maybe to like your seat and stuff like that. Again, if you're a bigger guy sitting on a stock seat, the stock seats aren't always that comfortable. And I'm speaking again from the sport bike perspective. So again, I don't know too much about the cruiser thing, but on the sport bike side, the seats that come with the bike are not really that comfortable. So if you're a heavier guy, you know, having your ass on that bike, riding around 600-700 or a couple hundred miles or whatever, you might feel the burn. So you might want to look into getting one of those gel seats or something like that to make you a little bit more comfortable. But all around, man, the big takeaways is just, like I said, you got to sit on the bike, ride it around, see what's comfortable for you, and go for that. And, you know, make sure that you're not settling for a bike that maybe isn't the bike that fits you the best because it's the one you want per se, or, you know, it's the cheaper one. Like, get what you need to get to be comfortable, because it's important when you're out there riding that you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable, man, you're gonna have a hard time like maneuvering and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable. Aside from that, man, I don't really think it's too much else that I can say about big guys on bikes. One thing I would say is know your max weight for your freaking tires and shit, and for your frame. All right, if you look in your manufacturer's you know, manual or whatever, it tells you like the weight of the bike, and it tells you the max weight that it should be on the stock tires and all that other stuff. Obviously, if you get aftermarket tires, make sure you know what the specs are on those. I say that because me, again, being 275 right now, I think the max weight on my bike, on my tires, is like 930 something, 931. So you got to figure, if the bike itself weighs 581 sitting on the tires, and then I add another almost 300 pounds to that, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting pretty damn close to the max weight that the tires should have on them. So now if I'm talking about throwing a rider on the back, you know, my wife, she's like, what, 135, 140? She'd probably be okay, but I'm getting close. So you just got to watch that kind of stuff. You don't want to have another 200-300 pound person trying to ride on the back of a bike that's only weighted at 930 something pounds, and you've already put freaking 800 on it already. You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch out for that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, all that is an accident waiting to happen. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful out there on that kind of stuff. Make sure you know the max weight and all that other stuff. Aside from that, man, that's about it. I can't think of anything else I could really tell you about the size and, you know, the size, big guys getting on bikes and whatever. It's just whatever's comfortable to you, man. What I would encourage you to do is, if you know you like super hefty, you know, 300 plus and whatnot, and you may be overweight, you know, you might want to think about hitting the gym a little bit and trying to trim down, you know what I'm saying? Just because, like I said, it's a more comfortable ride like that. Because riding is hard, man, especially when you're on a sport bike, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the position that you're riding in, what you end up doing is you put a lot of stress on your lower back if you don't know how to ride correctly. You know, a lot of that is about gripping the side tanks, or the side of the tank rather, with your knees and all that other stuff, and not putting all that weight on your arms. You know, a lot of people don't know how to ride. They lean forward and lock their arms out and put all the weight on their arms, and that's not how you ride. So you want to make sure that you got a good, proper riding position. But a lot of that too goes with the weight. Like I said, if you can drop some weight, you're probably gonna have a better ride, you know? So aside from that, can't think of nothing else, man. So think about how to get out here and get it. Me and a couple of partners of mine about to ride to Pensacola and see the sights and enjoy the day. Hope y'all out there doing the same thing. Get on your bikes, like rev them up, get out there and ride, man, because shit, this is good weather right here where I'm at. Hopefully y'all having good weather wherever you at too. So if you got anything else that you want to hear about, or you need some more information about anything I put out today, questions or whatever, please hit me up on the page. I'll be more than happy to respond. And appreciate y'all, man. Shoot me a comment, like the video, and subscribe. Peace.